video I'm gonna talk about the things that are holding you back in your English fluency. No one the English learning because it isn't sexy to talk about. But these are the things that if you eliminate them, you're going to go to the next level in your English. So, by the way, my name is Eric. I officially know two languages, my mother tongue and now I'm speaking English. I'm 18 years old, so it's a great accomplishment for me without having to move abroad. So let's get straight to the point. So let's dive into the differences between passive learning and active learning. This is a topic that it's very known for the polyglots or the guys that just want to learn language. So if you look deep into this versus passive active learning, you find out every single guy that they want to learn English, they first began with the, passively listening, passively watching videos on YouTube or TV shows, movies, series, etc. They're being engaged somehow with the language. First, it is like I said, passive learning because you're sitting in your couch just like this, without having to actively studying. And this is basically passive learning. And I've been doing this stuff for almost 1 year or 1 year more, because I always liked a guy, specifically his topic, that about self-improvement, going to the gym, building muscle, getting girls and everything. So I always just in every single lunch I was always watching one of his videos, just on my couch watching videos on YouTube. I didn't know back then how to actually actively learn the language or actively engage with the language. That's a very different thing. And so my desire of getting more fluent in the language it was getting big, in the sense of I wanted to listen. I know I understand the language, but when I want to speak, I stumble. I will feel awkward. I didn't know how to connect speech, how to connect the words that you use instead of just say, I am Eric. I am the connected speech. Real fluency is I'm Eric instead of just. And so I was struggling with that for a very long time because I was just purely passively watching content in YouTube. Or sometimes I will watch a movie, a series like The Peaky Blinders, and it was very fun to do so, because it's like you engage, you're listening, you're listening more or less, but you understand the context. You know what I mean? You understand like what it comes into your ears. And it was like for a very long time I was struggling, until I decided to take it more seriously because I was progressively watching more polyglots content, more how to learn languages in 6 months, how to learn this, how to learn that. So I come across this guy that the title was how to learn English in 6 months. He was utilizing these tactics, this app, this special repetition system, and this and this and this. I but the main thing that I was doing it was passively consuming because he was saying that if you have like Netflix and all of this, you know, movies content, it is a very you have like like an advantage from other people that they don't have it. And yeah, I completely agree with that. But the thing is, the guy just was saying some his protocol in I was I was using Duolingo back then for 10 minutes, just a little bit playing with that. And it was very demotivating. I wasn't seeing any progress at all until I come across with the real the real practices that led me to improve massively my communication with the language. One of the practices was shadowing. That is basically you're like an echo of the content that you watch or the person that you're, you're practicing with. So you play a normal video on YouTube and you just whilst the native is talking, you talk at the same time. You're keeping um, linked. You're being linked to their speech by copying their pronunciation, their mannerisms, their emotion, their intonation, what moment they pause a little bit, what moment they do high volume speech, and yeah, the recommendation there was that it's like an action step that you can do right now is try to actively learn the language. So instead of just watching passively the video, just sitting on the couch, just you're watching the content. Try to bring with you a notes, block notes. It could be in your phone, it could be a physical book, a physical no notes book, and try to note some things that you don't understand, and at the same time try and once you finished, try to copy the same speech. Try to copy, and it's very valuable to do so because it's going to improve your pronunciation. It's going to improve so many things. So just keep that in mind. Just what I'm saying right now, and you're gonna see major progress. Now I'm used to YouTube because this is the only platform that I consume content. But there are some very good series that you can watch, like The Office. I think that it's American. They have the American accent, so you can watch that. it doesn't matter if it's UK the accent, American accent. You can use both. I don't care about accents right now. I just care about engaging with the language, engaging more actively. That it's with speak by yourself, do shadowing, do more internal thoughts. Just talk by yourself about things that is in your mind, all of the things. So take action one of the shadowing technique with the movie, series, or YouTube video that you are engaged with. So the second thing is you are in your comfort zone. So this is a little bit related to the previous point, but this point is very different because if you are at my level or you are in the intermediate plateau, intermediate state, you find that you're not making progress for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, even though you're trying to improve or you're trying to passively more, learning more the language, watching more, a little bit more difficult podcasts, whatever. You're trying to do this technique like the shadowing that I'm giving to you. So this is a very important part because like in every area of your life you have to improve a little bit more. But you get used to the vocabs that you use because it's good enough. And this is a decision that you can take right now. If your goal is just say normal things, it is your prerogative. But I will say that if you're in this video, you want to improve as best as you can your English. So you have to get out of your comfort zone and keep growing just by focusing on the details. So if you find that you can ask to ChatGPT, or you can just I can just identify first. It can be your pronunciation levels or your grammar slash your grammar levels or whatever. Probably you're not at this point of that you need to improve your grammar because it's going to be the opposite effect. You're going to think more, you're going to overthink, analyze more, and so you're going to get more stuck. So I will say that actively engage more purposefully. You can have a routine that is specifically for active learning, just talk more. Because this is the constraint, I would say this is the constraint for every guy. If you're watching this is your constraint. I'm not saying that you can forget about listening everything, you can listen your podcast or whatever. But actively engage in every opportunity that you find. Find opportunities to improve your active talking is writing. Writing is very important because it's a part of actively learn the language. You can do essays, just choose a topic and everything. You can deep dive into the topic. So there is just don't give up, bro, because the all of these things are very obvious. I've been watching podcasts with polyglots. I've been I have a lot of channels that I follow that they have 10 languages in their acquisition in their language acquisition. They have 9, 10 languages, so they know a lot of languages. They're polyglots. So just don't give up. Just try to engage more with this community. This is the tactic. So engage more with the community, and you're going to be more accountable for yourself, because it's hard to learn a new language. I mean, if you are in this intermediate state, in this plateau, is very frustrating to see no progress in months and months, and you know, see another guy that he's been documenting the things that you can't do it. You know, guys that they're finally are fluent, they're sharing the knowledge. You can watch these videos. It's very valuable to the roadmap to being fluent, and the guys telling you a story about I've been struggling with this, I've been doing these things, and finally I've been getting out of this intermediate plateau. So keep engaged with this channel. I'm going to give you all of the tools, all of the tactics, all of the secrets. Subscribe to the channel and see you soon.